Hello, hello, hello. It is Friday, and you are joining us for Friday with the Founders here at Elify. It's our time to get together as a community. My name is E.R. Wolf. I'm joined by my business partner, Guy Toole, here, right there. And we are here to talk all things Elify. So we want to welcome you guys to the call today. Obviously, thanks for being a part of the community. As always, a few items that we like to go through. If you do have a digital business card, please share it. Please network with the group and share your card so that everybody can connect with each other. If you have a QR code and you have it in your background image, take an opportunity to do that in your virtual background. We love seeing stuff just like this so that we can all network and connect together. We want this to be very conversational. We do cover topics and go through everything, but we want to hear from you. So we have a chat box in Zoom. There's also a reactions where you can raise your hand if you want to join the conversation. And really, Friday with the Founders is all things Elify. So we want to have celebrations. I know we've talked throughout the week, and a few people have really celebrated some of the forward progress they've made this week. And again, big kudos to all of those individuals who have been making a lot of progress in their business, in their affiliate programs, and all of that type of stuff. This is what Elify is all about. When Guy and I set out to create Elify, which, as many of you know, is a mashup between elevate and simplify. We want to help people elevate their business and simplify their lives. And one of the biggest components for that is technology. We've talked about this so many times. We're in the midst of a technology revolution. And now, more than any other day in history, we are leveraging technology. And that trend is going to continue. It will become more and more of an impactful tool within our lives. And we want to make sure that we're enabling and empowering entrepreneurs, small business professionals, work at home people, professional salespeople, direct sellers, pretty much everybody to leverage technology to take what they're doing to the next level. That could be how you introduce yourself. We've made a name for ourselves in the world of digital business cards. And I think that's going to continue to grow in popularity in this post-pandemic sort of touchless world. We've really empowered people with relationship management and networking solutions. Such a powerful thing. We all know that our network is our net worth. So we want to make sure everybody has the tools at their disposal to effectively manage their relationships and their network. Content creation. Now more than ever, print. Print is the old school. A lot of it is wasteful. We all know this. It has its place and its role, but the new school is digital. Creating a landing page that represents anything you would have done in print can be done on our platforms, which is very powerful. QR codes, we've talked about it, right? Guy and I each have them up. I see plenty of people here with QR codes up. QR codes are not going away, everybody. And in fact, every day, more and more people are adopting QR codes to serve a purpose of sharing information. We'll talk about it later today, but there's an opportunity to get paid every time somebody shares a business card, essentially, every time somebody scans a QR code, because you're one of the people who introduced them to that type of technology. Lastly, Guy, when we talk about technology, the latest thing, and we've been on calls all yesterday for this, near field communication, NFC technology, our tap technology, and finding simple ways to share information between two people. This is paramount, especially when you're in person, to create a frictionless way, a simple way to just share some information with people. And obviously with Shuffle, you have multiple ways to share. So Guy, with that being said, and the mission behind Elify is to support the success of those business owners. Anything you want to add to the conversation?
I think you hit you hit the nail on the head, right? From the aspect of having solutions to be able to advance our marketing, get our marketing information out. Actually, you take your branding and you market your information out. And this is the platform to do it. You mentioned yesterday, we're having a conversation about QR codes and NFC. To peel the layers back, yesterday was our annual investor meeting, and we sat down and talked to our investors as what is happening at Elify and what is new. New to a lot of them was NFC. They knew about QR codes and the excitement that they hear when they know the statistics that's happening in the NFC space of a $23 billion industry in 2021. And by 2025, it's projected to be almost 55 billion. And to be able to be a part of that, to get that information out and to stake a claim into those billions of dollars from just a small little company here that is trying to diversify the market and be able to bring the solutions to anyone and everyone. And also setting in that investor meeting, we talk about affiliates, and we talk about how can we encourage and help and ramp, and that we're doing 4 calls a week, and we're doing one-off calls and these different types of things. And there's promos, and sometimes there's elements that don't work, and sometimes there are, and trying to figure out what can be provided and what videos need to be curated and what content needs to be curated, knowing that the content that's curated has to be digital, because we are in a green movement. Let's make sure that we have a sustainable earth moving forward, a sustainable world. And an additional conversation yesterday was with a company that talks about publicly traded companies and being able to work with them and understanding that now they are regulated in tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 spending. And one of those tiers is in the green initiative, and knowing that large publicly traded companies don't know about some of these elements, don't know about how to get their, 300, 400 page catalog into a QR code. They're not utilizing those things, and they have to show those movements, those changes by the end of this year on their reporting to the what is it? What am I thinking here? FCC to say, this is the movements we made. We've given people the ability to have those conversations with decision makers to be able to do that. And the cool thing is we had an introduction to this company who has the introduction to thousands of companies that are saying, okay, we'll take it to them.
Yep. I think this is what's pretty crazy, Guy. First of all, when we think about it, we're focused on creating technology that supports business, that supports commerce, that supports connection, that supports the customer life cycle. And then we think about how many businesses there are out there that can benefit from this type of technology. And it's great. We want them to get that technology
every
from
business.
Us. Yeah, every single business out there, right? And we want them to get that technology from us, ideally, right? They need to get that technology no matter what, to some of what, Guy, you're saying with regulations and with just pure competitive advantage. And yet all the time we are seeing companies who are, especially on the small and medium-sized level, are struggling to find and adopt those types of solutions, or do it in a way that is simple and easy for them to adopt and implement within their business. And this is one of the reasons why we started Elify, is because we really wanted to look at that segment of the addressable market that is those small businesses. If you peel back the layers of the onions, you go to like your Secretary of States across the United States and see the number of businesses that are registered. And I think, something like 30 million in the United States of small business registers. They're all 1, 2, 3 person businesses, right? They don't have this giant department or tech IT staff or any of that type of stuff that's helping them implement these solutions. So there's a massive need in the marketplace. And this is why we went down this path and this journey with our investors, is to say, look, there's a massive market with a massive need. And you may be on this call because you're one of our customers specifically. And you understand, yes, there is a massive need, and I want to implement this technology in my business, and I want to get that benefit. And we love that you're on this call, and we love that you're learning how to implement this technology. I think the other thing that we're very much passionate about is, how do we take this technology to the rest of the world? How do we take these things that people are coming across or interacting with every day and show them how they can leverage it for themselves and their business? And Guy, I know you and I have spent a lot of time talking about distribution and how we distribute our technology. And, to date, we've relied 100% on our affiliates to go out there and distribute. And now we're starting to make some channel partnerships with distribution channels outside of the affiliate side, because again, we want to support our main mission on getting the information and the technology out there. At the end of the day, our biggest mission is to get the technology in the hands of the people that can benefit it. And the big thing for us is empowering other people to participate in that. And I think that's one of those other things you're not seeing in a lot of other places, right? There are a lot of businesses out there that are booming in business right now, and you can see them being successful, but do you have an opportunity to participate alongside that business in that marketplace? And so it's one thing for us to create technology that serves business. It's another thing for us at Elify to open up the door to allow other people to participate with us in that marketplace. And Guy, you talked about the stats, and this is what I want to drive home for everybody who's watching this is you talked about NFC, near field communication, what we released last year with the tap card. And again, I know over time we're going to add, most likely a lot of other hardware offerings that include NFC. Is the addressable market. $25 billion a year is being spent right now by organizations in NFC. Now, if you look at that spend, it's happening on those top tier companies, the companies that have the budgets to implement and have somebody interdepartmental implement these technologies. But as we know, with the trends on any type of tool and technology and marketing system, it's going to start to matriculate down to the lower tiers of businesses out there. And we want to be that enablement tool that allows for that. Now, the other highlighting thing is you're going from a $25 billion a year market as it exists today. And think about this, that market is going to go to $50 billion by 2025, guys. In the next 2 to 3 years, they're going to add $25 billion in new commerce. And that's all those new businesses coming online wanting to leverage just NFC technology. Now think about adding the market of QR codes or adding the market of landing pages and websites, of adding the digital business card offering to that, or just CRM alone. You want to speak to one category, speak to CRM, your big juggernauts in the marketplace, somebody like a Salesforce out there, amazing company, amazing tools, very robust solutions for big business, not necessarily the perfect fit for the little guy, but you're talking $1 billion company out there that's servicing a portion of the market. So when Guy, you're talking about total addressable market, gobbling up some market share. Look, we do not expect to go out there and everybody in the world is going to be an Elify customer. That would be a dream, right? But what we do expect is to acquire some portion of market share. Uber does not have 100% market share on ride sharing, yet they're a $1 billion company. And ask yourself this question, wouldn't it be awesome if you have used Uber and then you got somebody else to use Uber and now you got paid every time that person took a ride? That's exactly what we're talking about here at Elify. We want to get this technology and these tools in the hands of everybody. And then we also want to open up the door for, if you help us make that happen, you get to participate in the revenue stream that's created. And Guy, you and I know we're going to go there no matter what, no matter who comes along. And we're going to go down our path as we've been consistently going down. And we just want to invite people to come along for the ride and participate with us and not miss out on that opportunity. And we see sometimes on a daily basis, people struggling with that. I think they see the idea, they see the opportunity, but then they miss the step of taking action. And I think that's not just the case in our affiliate program. That's the case in general in business, right? Why does the average business fail in the first 2 years? And this is coming from an organization that's been around for over a decade. You know what I mean? 80% or something like that of small businesses fail in the first 2 years. That's a stat, right? 80% of those who survive, of the 20% that survive, are going to fail in the next 5 years. What are the contributing factors to that? Is it the marketplace? Is it knowledge? Is it perseverance? Is it grit? Is it tools? I suspect it's a combination of all of those things. But if we can come in and at least put in some advantages, offer support, this is why we make these calls available for free. There's just a knowledge base out there of skills and tools that you can acquire and implement that has in essence, nothing to do with the tool of shuffle or tap itself, but it's the mind frame and the mindset of what you need to do to go out there and be a business owner. And many of you on this call are business owners now, whether you like it or not. Congratulations, you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner. You now own a system, but you have to work it. And all too often, Guy, before I pass this over to you, I truly come across people who have a business, but they treat it like a hobby. And then they don't understand why it doesn't pay them like a business. Instead, it pays them like a hobby. And I think one of our big goals is we need to shift that mind frame and say, look, we're business owners now. We're entrepreneurs now. We've got the hustle in us, guys. And we have to get out there and get after it if we want this to produce like a business. And you're going to wear lots of hats in your business, right? And you're going to do lots of roles in your business. And you're going to love some aspects of your business, and you're going to hate doing others. And if you can leverage technology and tools to support you in that process, why wouldn't you? You know?
Right. You know, from the aspect of having a convenient system, we're talking NFC, QR code, digital business card, CRM. It's one of the only solutions that I know of that holds all the power of those different types of technology in one space. There are a few others out there, but you better be able to fork over a big amount of money every month or annually to be able to utilize it. A lot of those don't have opportunities tied to them. You know, they're putting budgets into ad buy, ad spend. They're getting in front of a lot of people. And where we feel we can get in front of a lot of people is definitely through the affiliate program, because it comes more relevant of a powerful solution when a user or a subscriber or an affiliate is the one that is giving the examples and showing the value of this. I know, you know, there's ER, you'd mentioned on it that someone had utilized our LP or our landing page, which has reduced their costs by thousands of dollars just by finding the solution that's $10, $20, $30 for them to implement and them to control. And they've taken it upon themselves to know, okay, I'm a business owner now. I don't have to have design or graphic backgrounds, but I can come in here on this platform and I can control it all the time. I don't have to put a change order into the person that's doing my website and pay them a few $100s to change the call to action button to say, get started to learn more or something like that. You know, so having that platform and ultimately getting it out there, I think is what we ask of affiliates. It's a simple ask, because as an affiliate, all it is sharing. It's sharing information. It's sharing your cards. It's sharing examples. It's sharing a time to jump on a call, reaching out and saying, hey, can we jump on a call with this person? They want to use this and they know other people who would like to use this. It's that we talk, do, help, teach. It's the helping and teaching. It's the retention of your network, right? Your network is your net worth, but you have to retain a network to have some net worth. You have to retain them. You have to support them. You have to help them. And the help is here. You don't have to do it on your own. I mean, we're setting down, we're making a dedicated effort. And I know we mentioned it last week. We're now doing multiple calls a week in the Hispanic market. Spanish. Right? ER and I are not fluent in Spanish, and it might be something I have to, there's another element that I need to learn, because there is a demographic that sees the need as much as anybody else. And they understand that they can play in this realm, they can play in this field, because the cost, if anything, because when you take simple solutions that bring massive value, the cost is overlooked. but it's not overlooked when it's, hundreds, thousands of dollars. I guarantee when people look at their credit card statement at the end of every month, and they might be, changing hours for dollars, exchanging it, or doing the 9 to 5 and living paycheck to paycheck, you're going to start looking to see what you can cut out.
Yep.
And our little method to the madness at the $10 is it's a higher likelihood solution, or $20 to, when you look at that credit card statement, it's something that you might overlook.
Yeah.
Right. But you don't overlook it if you use it. It's so valuable. I know, Mike, you say it all the time. It could be more than what we're charging for. And yes, it could be. But does that allow us to be global? Does that allow us to explode and essentially be in the hands of everyone, especially when we go free? Free should be something in the hands of your teenagers, of your 85, 90-year-olds that, hey, I'm creating something free for you. If you can just fill your name, email, and phone number out, you've got something here. Yeah. Right. So we harp on our affiliate program. We think it's second to none because we feel our solution is second to none and is only getting better over time. And it will, we're excited. We sit down weekly with our development team on our test environment. So we have a separate environment. There's a lot of times, you might try to reach out to us through the application, but we're on the test application. And so we're not going to get that information. We're not going to get that. That's why right here, my QR code, it's got my personal cell phone number. I'd encourage you to text me first instead of just call, because a lot of times I might not have your phone number. But as soon as we have a conversation, your phone number is saved. And that way I know when I get a call from you, I know exactly who I'm speaking to. I don't have to answer the phone and say, hello, this is Guy. I can say, hey, Mike, how you doing? Right? I've built the rapport. I've built the rapport through my method of communication. And so knowing that the simplicity, we're constantly working on how can we make this simpler. We'll throw in the word easy. I don't like to use the word easy, but easier to use and implement. And almost to the point where we're excited about the future, because Kathy might not have to sit in trainings because it is so dead simple. I know what to do at all times, and it leads me through the path of how to do everything. So I'll sort of get off that soapbox. Anna, I know you've had your hand up for a little bit. Go ahead.
Just being patient. You mentioned something that came up, and I had made notes on it earlier this week. If you have senior citizens in your family, healthcare, folks who have disabilities and health issues, this is an ideal card. This is something that you can get to give to them that they have on their phone, that literally they can list all of their emergency numbers, their insurance numbers, even if they don't want to do that, at least what their health issues are. Mm-hmm. And share that with family members and with your neighbors. In a healthcare facility like, say, assisted living facilities, this is great for the owner and the staff to all have their own business cards, but also for their clients who are living there. They can update the family members on what's happening without having to make phone calls and texts. They just put it right on there on the card, and they can access it when they're available. Mm-hmm. Just a thought.
I love that idea, Anna. I really love that idea. I think there's such an opportunity to just implement this in different ways, and I think that's what's so exciting. When I first got online, everybody, like early 2000s, okay, and we talk about technology and we talk about the technology progression. Now more than ever, technology is accessible to the masses. In the early days of the internet, like you need to know how to program, right? HTML code, upload an FTP to a server, find hosting, register domains, all of these things that are a hurdle for most people to do, especially if they're doing it for the first time. And really the goal here is to make it accessible to everybody and to have so many different applications like what Anna's speaking to, that that you can basically leverage a landing page to be anything you want it to be. You just need to take the effort to create that landing page and start using it or implementing it. And I think that's what's so powerful. Information and getting information out there and having a mechanism to put that information on, and then a mechanism to deliver that information, and then a mechanism to track that information. I mean, that's what the digital age is all about. If you don't think big business right now, like your $1 billion, nowadays we have $1 trillion corporations, guys. We live in a world where there are $1 trillion corporations. If you don't think that they are leveraging technology to the nines, you are, outside of a reality. They are leveraging it so much. They are tracking everything. They're implementing machine learning and AI and all of these amazing cutting edge things to gain a competitive advantage. So what does that mean for the little guy? And that's really where Guy and I's passion lies. Why? Because we are just like that. We're the little guy, and we can see that there's a need for all of this. And if we can make it accessible to everybody, make the learning curve, to Guy's point, super small. And again, there's always with anything, right? Do you remember if you're on Facebook right now, if you're on any other social site right now, when you first got started, maybe LinkedIn, you had to get over that learning curve of knowing what to do. Oh, I've got to fill out this form. I've got to do this thing. That's really the goal. You just get over that hump, and then you start leveraging the technology. And where there are gaps, you plug in and you fill in those gaps with education you learn. And that's why we do these types of calls. That's why one of my favorite calls is our Tech Tuesday at 2 p.m. Central with Kathy Inman, where we can look at and explore, how do I do this? Oh, I want to create a bit. Great. If you haven't created a business card yet, that should be the first thing out of the gate. If you haven't learned how to create landing pages yet, man, you should create your first landing page and then think about every single thing you could create a page for. And it could be a page that's evergreen, or it could be a page that lasts for an upcoming event, and only serves as a short term. The fact is it's so accessible now that why wouldn't you, or why aren't you? It tends to be the big question. So I want to open this up for any questions, comments, thoughts, tips, tricks, celebrations that anybody has. As always, Guy and I don't necessarily love hearing our own voices, and we want to hear from you guys. So please raise your hand or put some comments in the comment thing, and we can have a conversation about all things Elify. Anybody? Otherwise, might be a short Friday with the founders, guys.
Let's chat a little bit about our QR codes, right? And that there's, we know that there has been massive adoption of QR codes just in business since the beginning of 2020, right? We talk about an article that I had found and shared with people a few months ago on, in 2019, one of the articles was talking about how QR codes are a fad and they're dead, and why use them. They're the most seamless, interactive way for people to share information. You can gather information from someone right here digitally in a virtual setting, right? You're walking down the street, you're walking down Main Street, and there's QR codes now on the front of every store. There's QR codes up by the register. It's a way that they might be utilizing daily specials or coupons. Those are different places that you can take these, but a lot of those QR codes that have been sold to those types of companies, there's two different kinds of QR codes. They're static, right? They're static. They need a new QR code for a new offering. Yeah. The beautiful thing about having a platform like this is we have dynamic QR codes where it can be adjusted. The redirect can be something separate, can be a whole new offering. And so being able to say, hey, it's extremely powerful to have this dynamic QR code within this platform.
Yeah, I think that's a big one. And Guy, you and I are always chatting about this stuff. I know we're talking throughout the day. And one of the stats that I believe you mentioned to me, and I'm sure we could reference it or cite it somewhere, but it was something like 43% of mobile phones have scanned a QR code in the last week. Think about that. 43% of mobile devices, smart mobile devices, have scanned a QR code in the last week. I think that trend is up from what it was. Obviously go back to that article guy that you were talking about, 2019. I know that the QR codes were very big in the Asia markets, and that's where we saw a lot of massive adoption pre-pandemic. And then in the United States, I think that the pandemic thrust everybody's attention into QR codes. If almost half of mobile devices have scanned a QR code in the last week, what is it going to be a year from now? Think about this. What is it going to be a year from now? Is it going to be so ubiquitous in our society that as we're walking around, whenever we see something and we want more information and we recognize the QR code, that we're more apt to pull out our device and scan it? In fact, as an example, we had a user who had their tap card in a lanyard hanging from their neck. And before they even had a chance to walk up and tap somebody's device, the person who was walking up to them had their device out ready to scan. It was almost like a conditioning is happening in our society that we know these QR codes lead to information. And Guy, to your point, I have to imagine in the early days of QR codes, and this is really where we're at in a technology life cycle, right? You have early adopters, you have the growth phase. I think we're in the growth phase of QR codes. We haven't even begun to reach maturation. And in those early adopter phases, I have to imagine a lot of those QR codes that were generated and posted out, printed out, put on a sticker, etc., they're irrelevant now. And there will come a time where you're going to want to print something out, and you're going to want to leave it up, and you're going to want to be able to manage where that thing points to. And that's something that we have the capability to implement within our technology. Right now, it could be a card, and you go in and you re-edit that card over and over and over again. And every time you make a change, that QR code is still going to that card, but the card content is completely different. That's extremely powerful from the standpoint of you're not having to Guy's point, call up the IT person or the engineering or hire that designer to come in and do that for you. You're empowered on your own to go out and do all of that type of stuff. So again, we're going to look at personalization stuff. Most of it, Anna, it's just like graphic, right? As long as you have the contrast of the black and the white or the dark and the light in your QR code, you can add some colors. So like in Guy's QR code where you have the colored boxes, that was done through graphics, through just going in and modifying and editing the physical QR code itself, because all those are pixels. So you can change a black pixel to a blue pixel as long as the contrast between dark and light is there, if that makes sense. However, we are internally exploring, and Guy talks about this test application that we have internally. Sometimes I'll refer to it as the skunk works, that little area you go and you tinker on all these cool things. And every time we see stuff out in the marketplace that others are doing, right? Success leaves clues. We want to look at those things, and then we want to say, okay, would it be beneficial to implement those things within an Elify solution? That's usually our first question. And then number two, can we do it in a way that's going to allow the average everyday person to leverage it? So things like customized QR codes is something we're looking at, Anna. I don't know if and when that would be made available, but part of it is making sure that the end user has all of the capability to do it on their own and not have to rely on I've got to contact a designer to create me a design. Now, somebody I know who's done some of that, who's part of this group, and I don't know if they're on Friday's call now, and it doesn't look like they are, but Ruben, so maybe next Tuesday, that's a good thing to ask Ruben is, Ruben, how do you adjust your QR codes a little bit? Because I know he's done some QR modification. I think he has his free shuffle card QR code with a free card little icon in the middle. That can be made available too. And I suspect over time, that's something that's going to evolve out of these QR codes is you're going to have some more personalization when it comes to the QR code. And I think you're going to see that as this growth cycle continues on. with QR codes. Not unlike we want to allow personalization on every single card that you might build on our platform. We live in a world of personalization. We've talked about it. The right information to the right person at the right time is all about personalization, you know?
So we definitely see huge value in being able to have the personalization of the QR code. And like you are saying, it's in our skunkworks viewing, going through, looking at how simple is it for a customer to come in and personalize their QR code. There are some elements that we're working through, but to that statement of having dynamic QR codes and how our platform has it right now. Our dynamic QR codes, Kathy, always, you point to it, edit, don't delete. Make sure you're editing cards, right? But also within our skunkworks of QR codes is a link management. How can I have, say, this QR code that was going to this card, but it's no longer relevant. I don't want to edit it. I don't want to take the time. How can I point it somewhere else? How can I get it somewhere else? You know, we have users who might have something on a social group that they posted in 2017, and it's pointing to an old, antiquated sort of shuffle card. How can they get that to be adjusted to something as a new landing page, as a call to action, lead capture, something else that might not have been available when they first put that QR code out? That's also something we're looking at, is how can we allow you to utilize your dynamic QR codes and really have the power to drive it anywhere you want once it's posted?
Yeah, I think that's going to be very, very powerful when we solve for that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Rose Michelle, I saw you posted in the chat here about if you printed out a QR code, maybe you've got something you're taking to a booth and you've laminated it. Just be aware, as long as the viewer, the person who's going to be scanning that QR code can scan it, they'll get the content. If there's a glare or a weird angle, they might have to approach it from a different angle. That's the only concern I would have with any type of glossy lamination on one of those. But otherwise, you should be fine. Again, it's gonna deal with the individual who's viewing it, their device, their camera, that type of stuff, and the angle they're coming in. I have seen, times where if I move this just in the right thing and you can see where it hits my light, you're not going to be able to scan it as well as if it's like straight front on the camera. So just be aware of that. You could always print it out, laminate it, test it a few times, and see how that works for you. I'm also a big proponent when it comes to testing across the board. Everybody, build something, play with it, send it to yourself, test it, open it up on the computer, open it up on your phone. Make sure that you do a little bit of pre-testing before you start using things so that you can make sure it's dialed in. All too often, I think people skip that step and either push something out, which again, I'm not opposed to. Get something out. Something is better than nothing. But all too often I see somebody who doesn't want to use something because they're not quite sure if it's at that. Send it out to people, ask for feedback. This is all part of that process that helps you grow and move forward in your business.
I mean, it's one of the biggest things that you should test it out and get feedback, or at least go through it and see how it's viewed, just like you're saying you are on the phone and on the desktop. Because if you're going to spend, we know people have talked to people who have spent 6 figures on their website. Do you think that they just throw it up there and let it go? They're going to make sure that they've gone through and made sure that it looks great on the computer. And if someone searches for it on Safari or Chrome or something on their phone, that they're going to be able to have a good experience of, because there's a lot of websites out there that are made for the desktop. And as soon as it goes to a phone view, you would be embarrassed knowing that that's what somebody is seeing. Yeah. So making sure you take that time to build something, we always say, build something worth sharing, build something that is relevant, is relevant to who you're sending it to or within the group. Making sure that I'm not just, we always say, throw stuff up on the wall and see what sticks. Make sure that what you're throwing up on the wall is something that will stick because you've taken that time.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else? Questions, comments, thoughts, tips, tricks, celebrations? Are we allowed to place our marketing material that we create to promote Elify on people's windshields or doors, or is this based on state to state? Rose Michelle, great question. I'm going to assume it's going to be based on a state to state solicitation type of laws on how you can spread promotional material. But if you're asking, can that be accomplished? Look, you guys can do with the technology what you will. If you want to put a flyer, if you want to do a mailer, Guy and I always come back to the part of Elify that is intended to be environmental here and more green. Is part of this is saving you the opportunity to have to do that type of stuff and enabling or empowering a different path for sharing that type of stuff. But I do see print material all the time that then leads into digital material. I think if you're doing that, a QR code is one of the best ways to take somebody from the physical to the digital, as opposed to maybe putting a link on there that somebody has to type in and might, mistype, etc. QR codes are probably the easiest way for somebody to scan to share. Anna, yes, your hand's back up. Go ahead.
That was definitely a legal question.
Yeah, for
One
sure.
I've investigated in the past. That is actually county to county.
Is it county to county?
Yeah. So check your county requirements. And if you're doing it in a different county, better check it first, because there can be some pretty hefty fines along with that.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, to the point of being able to advertise in a local paper, you absolutely can do that. You can provide whatever QR code. Just know that there's probably going to be a cost to you to be able to do that types of advertising, and just make sure that whatever you want to put out there is going to be that content that you're wanting somebody, or it's at least leading them to have interest to reach out to you, or wherever that QR code is going to be taking them.
Yeah, and I think this brings up an important point that we always talk about too. And Guy, you mentioned it when you talk about business cards, with about 90% of them, or 9 out of 10, getting thrown away pretty quickly. I'm sure if we look at the stats on things like flyers and other handouts and stuff like that, door hangers, etc., we're probably seeing the same types of metrics. So one of our goals here is to discuss strategies that are going to give you the best bang for the buck. And I think the digital marketing, the direct send, the scanning, the tapping, anything that transmits that with little to no waste is a lot better of an option. But obviously, you can leverage it for that. So do with it what you will. But to Anna's point and to Kathy's point, I would check your neighborhoods and even your counties for that type of stuff. I know in the neighborhood I live in, it's like a no solicitation neighborhood. So, every now and then we get a flyer and stuff, but it's not as bad as I've seen in the past. So, all right. Anybody else? Otherwise, I want to shift over to the affiliate side and do the quick overview on that for everybody. And I think last chance, everybody.
Yes, ER, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. Good to have you on.
Okay, I just left a live meeting. That's a Friday meeting that we have. And I brought a guest, of a gentleman that does my computer work for me. And he had a little flyer that he was handing out. He's trying to gather all of the networking groups in a promotional type thing. And I asked him a simple question. I said, how many of those did you hand out? And he said, well, I have a whole bunch of them here. And he was, of course, my guest there. And I said, how do you think they'll end up anywhere? And he was saying, I know where you're going with this. They're going to end up in the trash, right? And I go, okay, let's go ahead and develop a digital business card for your promo on that. And he said, let's do it. So we got that fine. But I always look for a win, but there's always a surprise. Guys, when it was my turn to come up and speak, obviously I had to differentiate myself, because prior to me, the presenter put up a competitive digital card. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, it was free. And now bear in mind now, and it's going to be my time to get up and talk. So when I got up to talk, I went to the tap card. I went to some other component that differentiates from what he was putting up there. And then I went up to the leader of the group, and I said, "Hey, I saw that you had that card there. Can you go ahead and give me the QR code on it? I'd like to see it." And he did. And I said, "Now I want to compare what I have here with the Shuffle Free. Would you be able to scan?" "Oh, sure." He scanned it. And guys, there was a significant difference between the two. But I noticed that there were young people in the group that already had that card already that he was offering in that meeting. So I made it a specific target to have them get the free Shuffle card to compare. So there's always some wins, and I had to rethink my mind, because there's always competition. What does competition does? It makes you a little sharper and looking for answers to differentiate yourself. So I thought that was a win from the standpoint that I got my guest to go ahead and get a card, but also to the potential of showing people the difference between Shuffle Free and whatever they have out there for free. Thank you.
I appreciate that. And again, I think from a competitive standpoint, we're very competitive in the marketplace, but also competition is big validation of market opportunity. You want to make sure that there's people out there who have a need. And clearly when there's competition, it shows and validates that there's a need across the spectrum. As Guy and I mentioned earlier, we're not going or expecting to get 100% market share out here, but we do want to have something that we believe is superior to everything else. And we want to make it accessible to everybody and then amass as much market share as we can get. Gary, I see your hand up. Go ahead, my friend. Good to have you on. And just unmute yourself. I'll lower your hand.
I got two questions. One, if somebody else comes in as a affiliate right now on a special for $10, do they get to have their clients also to get for $10 for the month of May?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And what about if I had a group or an organization that I didn't want to give the discount to? Could I do that also?
Yes, you do have some promo card links that you can do that, Gary. You go into your card builder if you haven't already, and you can find those ones. There's the retail price one. There's the regular discount one as well. And then I think there's even some dollar trial ones in there that lead to fuller pricing.
Okay. I didn't know if they would override each other right now.
Yeah, no, you should be good there. But again, I would obviously use your best judgment. Be aware. Sometimes people aren't very happy if you don't give them the discount when you had it available to give. So I'll always be aware of that potential blowback, if you will.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks for asking. Anybody else? Any questions before we move on? Okay. Well, let's talk about the affiliate side of everything. This is why most everybody's on this call. I typically share out the affiliate page of the website, and we'll do that now. We're on elifyshuffle.com/affiliate. You'll also see up here, this is the example of just adding your invite ID to the end of a link. For those of you who aren't very aware of affiliate marketing, that's what it is. It's link sharing. So you're sharing out links that provide information to people, much like Shuffle enables our customers to do. And when you're sharing out these Elify links, we can track it back to the affiliate and we can give credit where credit is due. We talked about this market that's out there. Literally just with NFC, we're talking about a $25 billion opportunity that will be coming on board over the next 3 years to take the industry from $25 billion to $50 billion. And there's an opportunity for all of us to stake our claim in a portion of that market growth. Same thing with QR codes, digital business cards, landing pages, relationship management, et cetera. All of the things and functions that are found within our suite of tools are available for you to go out and promote as a servant to solve problems for potential customers. That's really what it boils down to. So you join as an affiliate, You get your links, you start promoting and sharing Shuffle. Part of that comes from just daily active using. Become a product of the product. And when you're out there using and sharing it, you're going to expose people to that, and they're going to start asking those questions. What is that? How do I do it? What can I do to get involved in this? Even to the point where they're like, do you get paid to share this? And when you say yes, they're like, well, how can I do that as well? You'll start earning. So you're promoting and then you start earning. It's basically getting paid to share. What do you earn? 10% on all of your direct referrals. And this is residual compensation. One of the things that differentiates our opportunity, our program with the affiliate program from everything else out there. You get 10% for the life of that customer. Each and every month that they maintain their Elify solution, you're going to get the commission off of their spend. On network referrals, this is a leverage component. We understand and we want to make this opportunity available to the masses, everybody. We realize not everybody has a large sphere of influence. Not everybody knows 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 potential customers that they could bring on. But we all know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. And that's the reality of networking in the world today. So we offer referral networking commission as well, so that as you are out there sharing, as it waterfalls out from you, you get to override a portion of that network referral, and that's 8%. So 10% off of everything you do, 8% off of everything that comes in as a result of 2 to 6 degrees of separation from you. And if you're active, and this is the key, if you're actively out there adding people, making direct referrals, we've added these direct referral bonus milestones at 10 direct referrals, 20 direct referrals, 30 direct referrals, and 40 direct referrals, where we'll unlock another additional more leverage levels, 7, 8, 9, and 10, each of these milestones for an additional 1%. Now, I'm a visual learner. That's probably the best way for me to understand this model. This is you. You are an affiliate. Guys, right now, if you're an affiliate, you've essentially created a business for yourself, and we want to help you leverage that business to the best outcome. Make it a profitable business that creates a passive residual income stream for you. So you're going to build your Shuffle stuff. You're going to get out there and start sharing it. You're going to start introducing Elify, Shuffle, and Tap to the rest of your sphere of influence. Anybody that comes on, 10% for that direct referral for the life of the customer. Obviously, they're going to be using Shuffle. They're going to expose other people to it. They may even become an affiliate. Indifferent if they stay a customer or an affiliate. If it results in another referral that comes within 2 to 6 degrees of separation from you, you're getting 8% on that. Finally, as we said, this direct referral bonus milestone, if you directly refer 10 people, level 7 at 1%, 20 people, level 8 at 1%, 30 people, level 9 at 1%, 40 people, level 10 at 1%. So if you're saying, what do I need to do to max out this entire program and earn a commission on everything that I can earn it on? Focus on 40 people. Ask yourself, how quickly could I make 40 referrals? Is that something I could do in a weekend, a week, a month, a quarter, a year? The time frame is entirely up to you. You are an independent affiliate from us, and you're going to get out what you put into this. But I do encourage you to set a realistic expectation. This is not get rich quick overnight. And I see a lot of peddlers out there online across, the inosphere saying, look, you can become a millionaire overnight if you become a high ticket salesperson, or just join my workshop or class, or join this program. This isn't the reality. This is become an affiliate marketer. This is share information about Shuffle. This is create a new stream of income and build that income over time. So there's a commission calculator on here where you can adjust what you're selling, how many sales you estimate you'll do per month, the number or amount of retention that you're going to be getting, and how much duplication you'll get. And again, the leverage component can have a massive impact in how successful you are. So you want to be strategic about leveraging your affiliate business and what you're doing on both the direct promotion and the indirect promotion through your network referrals. And over time, you can build a substantial income. And this is really what this is about. If you're looking at this, overnight in the first month, second month, third month, to a lot of us here, the first goal is subsidizing our costs for Shuffle, right? Getting our business in the black as quickly as possible, and then just building that up over time and staying consistent with it, where it goes from 8 to 25 to 88 to $200. I think we could all benefit from a few extra $100 every month. but you need to put in the time and the energy and the effort and be consistent with it to make the number of referrals, because to earn $200 a month, you've got to have about 100 people in your network. So really, when we say your network is your net worth, we're truly talking about that, right? Where you can capitalize on getting this out there and sharing with other people and start monetizing the influence that you have through these solutions. When your network's closer to 1,300, look, it's almost $2,000 a month. Again, it's a direct correlation to the size of your referral network, either through your direct referrals or through your network referrals. So if you've been on these calls, if you've been doing your efforts out there to go out and share, all you need to look is in your network system on the affiliate login to see how big your network is. And that will be directly related to the amount of earnings that you're going to earn within this program. And guys, if you make that your mission, we talk about revenue generating activity as an affiliate marketer, you got to go out and share. That's number one. You got to be focused on what you're sharing. You can share the technology. You can share your card, and that maybe will build your business, your revenue on whatever you're promoting or selling. But if you want to leverage the affiliate program for a passive income stream, you're going to want to start promoting Elify, promoting Shuffle, promoting Tap, promoting the affiliate opportunity. You can focus on building a team if you choose to do so, and that's only going to help you build a larger network. Again, your network is your net worth. If you have an objective to earn an extra $5,000 a month, I can assure you that's doable within this program. That's doable within this system, but you have to do the work necessary to achieve it. So I want to set realistic expectations for everybody who's watching this. Completely doable, completely capable. And I think anybody, and this is why we created this program, is we truly believe anybody can acquire the skill set to do this. That's really the litmus test, that you, independent of who you are, your age, your race, your gender, any of those types of variables, this is a level playing field. All you need to do is learn about the technology, start leveraging it for yourself, understand what it can do and how it can solve problems for other people like it is solving your problems, and start sharing it with those other people and helping them. Guy, you and I, we talk about doing, helping, and teaching. Once you're out there doing, right, you're out there as an affiliate and you're making referrals, you're going to start helping and teaching other people to do the same thing. You'll help and teach them to learn the technology, much like you've learned it. You'll help and teach them to share this with other people, and that will start to grow your network. Your network is your net worth. You're going to earn proportionally what is in your network that is on the system. And again, the sky is the limit on whatever you want to earn. You just need to do the work necessary for that. And Guy, you and I will always be around to support the community in doing that.
You know, a huge thing that came to fruition yesterday when having a conversation is we talk about that there's opportunities everywhere. There's opportunities to get released almost daily. One we've been communicating with in about a 5-month time, they have an opportunity. They get people signed up for free, and then you start trickling them into what can potentially happen. They sign up 1.3 million people in that short amount of time. There's opportunity here to show a free user. And Scott, I know you had asked what it looks like if there's any metrics from a free going into a paid. They're really, we'll dig into those, but the metrics is going to be based on that free user utilizing it and sharing it and seeing the value of it, and then getting curious enough to say, well, do I want to know specifically who's viewing this? Do I want to be able to track? Do I want to be able to do all the additional elements that are within this platform?
Right.
That's going to determine if they go to a premium solution. But from that opportunity aspect, saw it yesterday. The person said, hey, I've got people that want to look at opportunities alone. We even have people on our platform who are referring, who haven't even created a card, which is amazing, because they just know I can send them to elifyshuffle.com/their invite code or elifyshuffle.com/affiliate/their invite code. We're not saying that that's the best way to do it, but it's available. And when they went and did that, and I'm going to ask you to share the affiliate website again, and just put in your name, your affiliate code, or leave Douglas demo up there.
Yep.
And scroll all the way to the bottom. And once you have scroll all the way to the bottom of this page.
Yep.
And select Google Translate.
Yep.
Right there, select a language.
Oh, there we go.
And scroll down to Spanish. Down. Right there.
There we go.
Refreshes your screen. Copy the link. And open it in a new tab. There you go. This is how they're sharing it to the Spanish market. They're taking the opportunity and saying, here, read, learn more, join. This is the way someone can earn. I know Marlene Matting, she had a win last week with a individual, don't know exactly what country, but within Africa. And he's doing this exact same thing. He's putting it into the affiliate page into his language and sharing that out. They can still sign up for free here. They can still upgrade. They can also just go through the process of becoming an affiliate right here and do the exact same thing. So this is just another strategy that maybe you want to look at, and potentially, individuals who you can speak very well with, but maybe they learn more by reading, and it can be in whatever native tongue that they read. So just an idea.
I love it, Guy. I love it. And again, this is a global solution, everybody. This is a global solution. And one of the things that I've always been a fan of is independent of where you are. If you live in a town with a population of 2, you know what I mean? But you have an internet connection, you have access to an entire world out there. I know people who only share on social media, only, right? That has opened up their world to everybody online and nobody offline. Again, and then those people will waterfall out and start sharing with their local communities and things like that. Kathy, great to have you on. Go ahead, my friend.
Hey, I just wanted to talk about the free and people using the card. So I was actually at a networking meeting yesterday and was chatting with the gal next to me. And she was like, I have a free card. It wasn't ours. She was like, I have a digital business card. It's a free account. And she's like, perfectly honest, I set it up, but I've never used it. Right. So I was just like, I encourage you to try. Right. I mean, give it a try. I'm not going to say like, well, ours is better, even though it is. But I'm like, you know what? I encourage you to at least use it and see if you like it. There's things that ours does that are different. There's things that theirs does that are different. But here's the key. Is what I showed her was my home screen. I was like, let me just show you a really quick tip. And I said, I just put my QR code on my home screen, right? Because the free card does have its limitations. You can share it by link, you can share it by QR, share it by tap, but something that's free, they have a free account, whether it's ours or not, then you're going to add value to them by saying like, here's an idea you could use, whether it's ours or not. And then she was like, well, now, okay, I love that idea, but now, so what does yours do different? So immediately she's asking me, because I'm giving her value. She's like, now tell me more. Like, why would I want to switch? Right. So to me, it's like, even because I get it all the time. I had somebody come up to me in the same meeting. Hey, I was about to order this other NFC product. I'm just going to order yours. Tell me more. How do I get it? Right. So always be giving information, even if it seems counterintuitive at the moment, because they're going to come back to you and ask you more questions, and you're going to be able to help them somehow.
I can't say how much I love that comment, Kathy, and really this is part of that servant leadership mentality that I know a lot of us have on this call. And Guy, I remember you shared a podcast with me not too long ago, and one of the speakers on the podcast was sort of talking about that topic that Kathy just brought up about sharing and giving information freely to people. It's almost like this abundance mentality. And the pushback that this speaker always tends to receive is like, I don't want people to take advantage of my kind-hearted nature and helping them out, or how many people abuse the time that I give to them. And this is true. I have people all the time. Guy and I freely give out our information. And some people that we talk to, it just Maybe they're lonely and it just becomes a time suck and they want somebody to talk to. I understand that, right? And now when that person calls me back, I don't pick up as often because I know that we're not creating value together. But that doesn't mean that we should stop altogether our ability to go out and serve other people. You know what I mean? And to help other people. Because Kathy, to your point, the more that you do that, let's say 1% of those people or 3% of those people are the people that are going to abuse your offering. They're going to just suck all of that energy out of you and leverage it for themselves and give nothing in return. The reality is that 97% of the other people are going to go down that path that Kathy was just describing, right? Where they're going to see the value that you're bringing to them, and then they're going to start to ask you more, and they're going to start to see you as a valuable resource. And that's going to allow you to actually serve them with not just free solutions, but other solutions and tips. And they're going to look to you as that valuable guide and that valuable resource that can help them out. And when we talk about people doing business with people they know, like, and trust, that's pretty much the exact process, everybody, right? But still, we sit here and we think everybody is out to get us and everybody wants to abuse our time and energy. And there are people out there like that, guys. I've come across them, but it doesn't discourage me from continuing on the path. It just allows me to make a little note in my call log of who to pick up when they're calling, type of thing. But I'm going to open that door up for everybody. And I honestly encourage you to go out there and serve other people. Show them how you're using the technology. Show them how they could benefit from it. If they're using a competing solution, to Kathy's point, give them some tips and some tricks because you're using a similar solution. And more often than not, they'll finally compare apples to apples and realize that they're comparing apples to oranges when it comes to what our technology offers for people. So thank you again, Kathy, for that. Anna, you did have your hand up briefly. Did you have more to add?
I'm just, every one of these calls, I make money. I happen to have a very large Hispanic group that I was thinking about today. And now I can send it to her in her language and she can put it out to her network. So I'm very excited about that. You guys, you give away so much, and I understand that abundance mentality. A phone call is a request, not a demand. Mm-hmm. So make it pay.
Yep. Appreciate that. And thanks for those kind words, Anna. Obviously, we couldn't do it without any of you guys. As we've talked about to date, we rely on affiliates to grow this thing. Okay. So our scale and the adoption of this technology worldwide is a direct reflection of our affiliates. So we want to do everything we can to offer support and encouragement, inspiration, and motivation to you guys to get out there and do what you do every day. To get out there and support your existing or primary business with our technology so that you can take it to the moon. And in doing so, we hope that you'll share what we do with other people. We hope that you'll invite them to join this community, to leverage this technology, to join a free call, because we truly believe that high tide raises all ships, and that together, collectively, we can be on a mission of servant leadership to go out there and change the way people leverage technology to grow and support their business. So we do it all for you guys. Again, I want to thank everybody for giving a little bit of your time on a Friday to join us. To go through this Friday with the founders. I know this is a highlight of our week every week, guys, just to get on with the community and know that we're not in this alone, guys. We're working together to really take this to the masses, and we appreciate all that you guys do. Last minute housekeeping as we wrap this thing up. Guys, 4 calls a week. There is a week at a glance card. If you need the information for those calls or the social sites or anything else, I'm going to post that in there right now. First call that's going to be happening is going to be on Monday, 10 a.m. Mountain Time. We're going to do sprint planning. If you've never made a plan, you should be coming onto that call and learning some of the tips and tricks about making a plan. I will tell you, Myself, before I planned and after I started implement planning, night and day difference on what I got accomplished and how it moved me forward towards my goals in every area of my life, my business, my family, my finances, my health and fitness. And we encourage you, make a plan, put it down in writing, execute your plan, try to win every day so you can win the week, so you win the month, so that you get to where you're going. We'll go through that every Monday, 10 a.m. On Tuesdays, Tech Tuesday at 2 p.m. You heard Kathy Inman on here. I see some dancing going on, guys. You want to join that call so you know how to leverage the technology. I mentioned this during the week today. It's like an iceberg. Most people who use our technology are scratching the surface. They're maybe implementing a QR code, leveraging a business card, maybe setting some follow-up reminders. You need to learn what you have at your disposal for the price that you're paying and maximize your use of that solution so you can maximize the benefit. You can learn all of that on Tech Tuesday at 2 p.m. On Thursday, I do a roundtable mastermind call. We pick a topic, we talk about it and use on it and collectively share ideas. Love having that call and love everybody who joins on that. Encourage you to join and invite others. All these calls are freely open to anybody, guys. So feel free to invite others. And then that'll bring us back next week on Friday to Friday with the Founders, where, again, we're going to talk about all things Elify. So with that being said, I hope everybody has an amazing rest of your Friday, an amazing weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all of those mothers that are out there. So much appreciation for you guys for giving birth to guys like me and everybody else out there. We couldn't be here without you. And truly appreciate you. So hopefully you have a chance to celebrate this Sunday as well. Will, skill, and refill, and we will see everybody bright and early next Monday for the next call.